I was talking to Steve last week. He was telling me he's going to the Jazz Festival. I didn't know how Aerosmith was part of the Jazz Festival. He said it was.
Sang some blues.
What a difference 1 year makes and what a difference a new administration makes. The American people today feel more secure and more prosperous. Let's think, just in 1 year, 2 million more people have jobs. Unemployment at 3.9, you have not seen that in more than 18 years. If you're in America and you're moving on to college, no longer do you fear that you're going to have to move back with your parents when you get out, because you're entering one of the strongest economies to look for a job in decades. Look at more than 48 out of 50 states, your electrical bill has been lowered because of this tax bill. The millions of bonuses that are out there. I know Nancy Pelosi made sure no Democrat would vote for that prosperity and thought it would just be crumbs. But think what else we've been able to accomplish. Combating human trafficking. More than 100,000 people in America fall prey to this. 70% of this happens on the internet. But I know you haven't talked much about it. We've been able to pass a bill that has shut down Backpage and even part of the Craigslist. There was a district attorney officer who thought we have now been able to cure 87% of what's happening online based upon this. Then look what we're doing when it comes to the opioid crisis. More than 60 bills were marked up in subcommittee. They're doing more inside Energy and Commerce. But unfortunately, the Democrats continue to fight that. But we will keep our promise. We will work to solve this addiction. And we will work and pass this bills even if we have to do it again all by ourselves. Because this is too important of a crisis in America to let these type of things go on. But what I really want to talk about as we continue to move forward, we had Mick Mulvaney in today. We look at the rescissions package. This rescission package has nothing to do with the Omni. It's looking at funding that has been sitting aside more than 1, 2, and 3 years that cannot be used and are just sitting in an account. Why would you let it sit there and waste and not give it back to the American public? I want to read something from an op-ed that sits in the Wall Street Journal today. Trump's rescission package specifically goes after spending that is no longer necessary, has been diverted from its original intent, or has sat unused for years. The Energy Department's loan program for advanced technology vehicle manufacturing hasn't actually made a loan since 2011. It's more than $4 billion that is sitting there. There's money from the stimulus that never got used that we can rescind. By acting on the administration's proposal, Congress can now rescind more than $4.3 billion that has been idle for 7 years. One of our other great successes that we've worked on was CHIP. For the first time in the history of that program for children's health, we were able to extend it the longest time for a decade, fully funded. But unfortunately, there is money that is sitting there that cannot be used, that will not affect any individual as you're going forward. This same account that could not be used, Nancy Pelosi voted as a rescission in the Omni to go forward with it. So we're able to actually save more money as we move forward. The Children's Health Insurance Program, which the administration strongly supports, and I will add again that Congress recently authorized for 10 years, contains $7 billion in funds that are either no longer necessary or can't be spent because the authority to do so expired last year. Rescinding these funds will have no impact on the program. Now, rescission is something government used all the time. Ronald Reagan did it 214 times. President Bill Clinton, 111 times. So, of course, this got brought up in one of our colloquies with the minority whip, Steny Hoyer. And in our colloquy, it was just a few weeks ago, Steny Hoyer said he would not oppose rescinding money laying in an account that has not been spent for 1, 2, or 3 years. He even called it a reasonable thing to do. Even more, Nancy Pelosi, who calls this proposal a raw deal and labels Republicans as hypocrites, and I quote again, just voted for the similar rescissions to CHIP just a few months ago. I believe this package, just as they have done in the past, voted for rescissions, is what the American taxpayers want. If there are accounts that have been sitting there all the way back to 2011 with billions of dollars that have not been used, Why do you leave them? Let's get our house in order. Let's make government more accountable, more efficient, and more effective. And that's what we continue to do.